For several decades now, graphic designers and artists producing or processing work on a computer have been able to print their visions in high resolution and in color. Whereas engineers, sculptors, and designers of three-dimensional objects were left behind with traditional methods of executing their plans. This is no longer the case. Today, there are a growing number of companies manufacturing what is being referred to as a three-dimensional printer. In a similar process to that of the common inkjet printer, which prints line after line to complete the full image, three-dimensional printers mostly use a process called additive manufacturing to create an object by adding material layer by layer in order to create the object. Instead of ink, these printers use a fluid of thick heated waxes or plastic polymers, which solidify quickly to form a layer a fraction of a millimeter thick that is added onto the layer beneath. Some machines use a combination of fine powder and a fluid binder, or glue, that are joined together to form each new layer, while other systems use lasers and metal powders. But regardless of the individual techniques, the main principle applies to most of them. The three-dimensional object is first designed on a computer using special software that can display and manipulate the design in a virtual three-dimensional space. When the design is complete, the result is converted to a special computer file format called STL that uses a triangulated surface mesh. The STL file is transferred to the printer that interprets the data into two-dimensional slices or layers, and it begins to build the model laying one thin layer at a time. The process can take anywhere from a few minutes to many hours, depending on the type of machine, the materials used, the size of the model, or the resolution of the printer. Once the machine has finished, the model is cleaned of residual powder or other materials, and if the materials used require it, the model is allowed to dry for a while before being used. The uses for 3D printers are increasing every day. Industrial designers are using them to produce prototypes of their work cheaply and quickly, while inventors, including those in the Stars of Science show, are using them to create and test their models. Engineers in the aircraft and auto industries are also using these printers to test components of their latest designs, while some artists are using them to create art, jewelry, and furniture. And that's a pioneering invention, shining bright in the Stars of Science galaxy.